In the first scene, the movie takes us to Chandigarh, India in the year 2025. At this time, everything is still normal, the city is still peaceful, and nothing has happened yet. But when the scene shifts to 2032, that same Chandigarh appears in a state of complete ruin. The cities are abandoned, trees are overgrown everywhere, and not a single human shadow can be seen. Afterward, the scene returns to 2025 at a village named Salamat in Punjab. There, a woman is milking a buffalo. Her son, Guri, is sitting on the rooftop playing games. But suddenly, Guri's younger brother begins to have a nosebleed, his body convulses, and he acts very strangely. This boy seems to have been infected with some kind of virus. In the blink of an eye, he turns into a zombie and attacks his own mother nearby, biting her and causing her to be infected as well. Immediately after, the film moves back a few days before this horrific event happened. At this point, the film introduces us to a man named GT standing at an event to give an inspirational speech. GT tells those present at the event how miserably he used to live, but after joining the company he is currently working for, how wealthy he has become. Hearing those words, everyone there believed him implicitly, and many people even decided that they also wanted to join GT's company. After that session, JT and his superior step out together in a car. But right after that, they return the rented car. Both of them climb onto their old scooter to leave. This shows that everything JT just said at the event about becoming wealthy was actually just a lie to lure people into joining their company. More accurately, JT's superior also deceived him in a similar way. That person made GT believe that if he could recruit 18 people to join the company, he would earn a lot of money and become wealthy. GT, believing those words, tried to follow through. In another development in the same village, the film shows a dead buffalo lying on the farm of a man named Gurubak. Not only is there this one buffalo, but over the past many days, many buffaloes have died abnormally. Wanting to test and find the cause, Gurubak invites a government scientist to conduct an inspection. That scientist is a woman named Anshul. Anshul herself is extremely stressed because she does not understand why so many buffaloes have died recently. In the next scene, the film introduces a girl named Coco. She is daydreaming as if she were in South Korea, with a Korean guy appearing and proposing to her. The reason is that Coco really loves Korean movies and Korean TV dramas. At that moment, GD calls her. Actually, the two of them like each other very much. Coco tells GD that she will wait for him at their usual spot and tells him to come as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Anshul takes a blood sample from the dead buffalo for testing. A worker tells her that one night 2 buffaloes fought, but by the next morning both were dead. Hearing this, Anshul thinks even more deeply about this matter. She cannot understand why the buffaloes could suddenly die like that when there is no clear cause, nor any normal signs of illness. As for GT, while he is on his way to meet Coco, 2 people secretly follow him. When he discovers them, GT immediately runs away. Looking at the way those 2 people pursue him, it truly makes people think that they want to kill GT. Meanwhile, Coco sits waiting for GT forever, but GT is busy running away from those 2. Finally, he manages to escape. Only now do we know that GT had borrowed money from that man, so they chased him to demand the debt. Coco waits for a long time without seeing GT come, so she returns home in anger. Here, the film introduces the sister of Coco's father, which is Coco's aunt. This aunt does not like Coco at all and is always scolding her. Not only that, she also arranged a marriage for Coco with a man from a wealthy family. But Coco completely dislikes this marriage because the person she loves is GT. Later, when GT is at a garage, Coco calls to ask why he didn't come. GT explains that the moneylenders chased him, and he had to run away so he couldn't make it. Coco immediately asks how much he owes, saying that she will give him the money to pay them back, but GT does not agree. He says that he does not like taking her money that way. This makes Coco even angrier. By evening, the film introduces 2 men named Dama and Harpreet. Both are GT's friends. Guri is also here, the boy playing games at the beginning of the film because his house is located right in this area. At that time, Coco calls GT and asks why he hasn't come yet, since she is still waiting. GT says, didn't she herself tell him not to come? Coco replies that she said that many times, but he should have still come to comfort her. She says she can't stand it anymore and demands to break up, then hangs up. At that point, Guri advises GT that whatever Coco likes, he should bring that thing to her. Do the things she likes, and everything will be fine. Therefore, the next day, GT takes Coco to get a Korean haircut and does everything she likes. Thanks to that, Coco's anger subsides and she forgives him. Later, while the 2 are riding a motorcycle, a car drives up beside them. Coco tells GT that the person in the car is named Sosa, the very person her aunt arranged for her to marry. Sosa walks up to them, says that he cannot stand this, and then hits GT. Sosa's friends also grab GT by the neck and lift him up. Coco is terrified and begs them to release GT. Sosa says that if Coco goes to sit in his car, he will release GT. Once Coco follows through, Sosa releases GT and says that he loves Coco very much. He says that persuading his family and her family to agree to this marriage was very difficult. Yet after all that, he cannot stand seeing someone like GT walking beside Coco. He threatens GT that if he sees him appear around Coco one more time, he will kill him. Having finished speaking, Sosa takes Coco home. He tells Coco's father that if she keeps hanging around with random people like that, not only will her family's honor be affected, but his family's honor will also be shamed. Therefore, he will keep Coco's phone and then leave. Afterward, Anchal is extremely stressed and brings Guru back to meet her. The blood sample she took earlier has been tested, and the report has come back with results. Inside the buffalo's body, they discovered a dangerous virus. The cause leading to this virus is an injectable drug called oxytocin. This drug is usually injected into buffaloes so they produce more milk. But at Gurubak's farm, this drug is being injected in overdoses. Then JD calls Coco's phone, but the person who answers is Sosa. Sosa tells JD that from now on Coco will never be with him again, and tells him not to call her. While Sosa is talking, we learn one more thing, that he is a very wicked person intending to take advantage of Coco in a dirty way. That makes JD extremely stressed and angry. He challenges Sosa that if he truly has the guts, he should come to his village tomorrow morning. He will gather everyone and will not leave him in peace. Sosa also agrees to come, even declaring that he will only return after killing JD. JD tells this story to his friends. Meanwhile, in another place, in the early morning, a group of people goes to a small shop to drink tea. On the other side, Anchal is explaining to Gurubak that in the injection he used, the amount of oxytocin should properly have only been allowed at about 0.6 milliliters. But in the injection he was giving the buffalo herd, there was a much higher amount of oxytocin, even up to 50% higher. In other words, he was almost putting an enormous amount of oxytocin into their bodies. Anchal said that buffaloes' bodies naturally have very strong immune systems. Normally, viruses find it very difficult to survive inside their bodies. But because Gurubak injected oxytocin in such massive doses, the immune system in the buffaloes' bodies was destroyed, causing them to be infected with an extremely dangerous virus. Anchal suddenly remembered a very important thing, which is that the milk taken from these buffaloes absolutely must not be drunk by anyone. But by the time she realized that, it was too late because the milk had been distributed everywhere. At this point, the film shows the truck drivers sitting and drinking tea. Because they drank tea made with milk from the infected buffaloes, they themselves became infected and gradually turned into zombies. After that, the scene returns to the present. Guri's mother also injected oxytocin into her buffalo. Guri's younger brother, after drinking milk from that buffalo, became infected and turned into a zombie. After transforming, the boy also bit his own mother, causing her to be infected too. Guri saw the entire event and was extremely terrified. When his younger brother rushed to attack, Guri tried to defend himself. Right at that time, GT nearby saw this scene. Initially, GT thought the children were just playing with each other, but when he saw blood on the boy's face, he immediately realized everything was much more serious. He quickly took Guri away and locked the zombie boy inside a cage. When they went downstairs, they discovered Guri's mother had also been infected. The two had to quickly run outside to escape. But once outside, they horrifiedly realized that almost the entire village of Salamat had turned into zombies because most people had drunk the milk of the infected buffaloes. On the way running away, right before their eyes, a girl was also infected, but they were completely unable to save her. Therefore, GT and Guri had no choice but to save their own lives. The two climbed onto a tractor, started it, and then found a way to leave that place. But suddenly a car blocked their way. Looking closely, it turned out the person coming was Sosa. Sosa had prepared everything to come and kill GT. He fired into the sky to scare GT, but the gunshot sound attracted the entire swarm of zombies around to pull in. Because GT and Guri had no way out, they were forced to run into Sosa's car to hide. During that time, the zombie swarm rushed in to bite Sosa and his entire group, causing them to be infected too. GT and Guri were terrified, quickly started the car, and then drove away from there. In another development, GT's friend Dama is traveling on a bus. When he sees a man running toward the bus, initially everyone thought the person was just trying to catch the bus, but it turned out he was a zombie. He rushed straight into the bus and began biting and infecting everyone. Dama did not understand what was happening. Only seeing everyone being transformed one by one, he tried his best and managed to escape outside. Right at that moment, GT saw Dama. Because GT's car had also met with an accident, the whole group had to leave the car behind and run after Dama. Dama ran into a nearby house and locked the door. GT and Guri also struggled greatly to get inside. The whole group at this point still could not understand what on earth was happening. Then Guri said that maybe just like in the movies, their village had been attacked by a zombie virus. First, they called their remaining friend, Harpreet, but on the other end of the line, they only saw zombies surrounding the phone. Because Harpreet did not answer, the whole group was extremely worried. Guri went online to check and discovered the zombie virus had spread everywhere. But in GD's mind at this time, he only thought of Coco. Therefore, he decided he must go to her house, save her, and take her to a safe place. Guri agreed with this plan, but Dama was not at all ready to participate. After GD tried to persuade him for a long time, Dama finally agreed to go along. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister of Punjab appeared on television and requested all citizens not to go out and to stay still inside their houses. But the three of them, GT, Guri, and Dama, still prepared to leave. On the other side, the film shows that around Coco's house, hundreds of zombies are gathering. Then, while the Chief Minister was still speaking on TV, a zombie suddenly rushed in and caused even him to be infected. As for GD's group, they were too scared, so they had to run back inside. At this time, they discovered a large plastic sheet and immediately brought it out to cover themselves to shield against the zombie swarm. Afterward, the three went along the field paths to advance toward Kuni Majra village, where Coco was staying. On the way, Dama and Guri were thirsty, so they wanted to find water to drink. They saw a person sitting nearby, thinking this person might have water. Dama approached to ask for water, but when he got close, he discovered it was a zombie. The people working in the fields had also all turned into zombies. This zombie bit Dama, but only then did they discover that it had no teeth left, so it could not bite through his skin. At the same time, the speaker that Guri was carrying fell to the ground and played music. Upon hearing the music, all the zombies were attracted and went toward the speaker. But when the song ended, they turned back to attack GD's group. Right at the moment of danger, Anshul appeared, struck down the zombie swarm, and saved all three people. Only now did Anshul know that the three of them were on their way to the next village to save Coco, GT's girlfriend. She angrily scolded them, asking if they were crazy, saying that in a situation like this, intending to wander around was too dangerous. But GT was still determined that he absolutely must go. When they asked where Anshul was going, she said that this zombie virus spreads from buffaloes and she knows how it propagates. Therefore, she is going to her laboratory in Chandigarh to find a cure. Right at that moment, their other friend Harpreet called to say that he was trapped in a rice mill, surrounded by zombies, and begged them to come save him as quickly as possible. The whole group did not know what to do, so they asked Anshul to take them to the rice mill. Anshul agreed and took the three of them there. Standing from high up looking down, they saw hundreds of zombies in this area. Because the number of zombies was too large, they could not rush in for direct combat. Harpreet was trapped inside the rice mill. Therefore, the whole group decided they must move quietly, both hiding and avoiding so as not to be detected by the zombies. But while they were trying to walk very softly, Guri accidentally caused a noise. Hearing that sound, the entire zombie swarm immediately chased after them. GT then told the others to run ahead, while he intentionally lured the zombies to chase him. He ran while throwing sacks forward to make them get stuck in one place. Afterward, the whole group ran together inside the rice mill. Inside the factory, there were still a few zombies. They had to fight them and destroy each one. Finally, they found Harpreet hiding inside and rescued him. After that incident, the whole group decided to stay at the rice mill to eat and rest overnight because it was already dark outside, and going out at this time was too dangerous. Here, the film also lets us know one more thing, that since seeing Anshul, Dama has started to like her. The next morning, the whole group continued on their way to Kuni Majra village. Despite being in such a terrible situation, Anshul still felt moved seeing GT defy danger to go find the girl he loves. She said that Coco is indeed a very lucky girl. Hearing that, GT also quietly remembered Coco. But just as the whole group was walking on the road, a herd of zombies appeared ahead. As soon as they saw them, the zombies rushed straight in to attack. The whole group tried to escape, but the zombies still followed behind. During that chaos, a zombie bit Harpreet's hand. Therefore, the whole group had to stop at one spot. Anshul immediately pointed her gun at Harpreet, while Dama tried to reassure him, saying that he would be fine and everything would be okay. But on Harpreet's body, signs like a zombie began to appear. When Harpreet rushed forward to attack, it was Dama himself who pushed him down from the mouth of a well, causing Harpreet to die. This matter made everyone extremely heartbroken. Seeing what just happened, GD said that from now on no one needs to go with him anymore. He will go to save Coco by himself. But Dama insisted on not agreeing. He said that he had already lost Harpreet and he didn't want to lose GD too. Whatever happens, all of them should still go together and save Coco together. Not only Dama, but Guri and Anshul also agreed to continue going with GD. Afterward, the whole group prepared to set off. Right at that moment, they saw a zombie advancing toward them, so they shot it dead and then continued toward Kunimadra village. When they got close to the village, they also saw a delivery man who had also turned into a zombie. By the time the whole group got near Coco's house, they were extremely shocked because previously many people had come to prepare for Coco's wedding, but now hundreds of people present there had all turned into zombies. Seeing this horrific scene, everyone was afraid and wanted to leave. But GT begged them not to leave him alone, asking them to please help him save Coco. Initially, they did not agree, but GT said that they could all sneak into her room, save her, and then quickly take her out. At this point, Anshul explained that the zombie swarm does not only rely on seeing humans, but they can also detect body heat in the human body to attack. Hearing that, the whole group came up with an idea. If they could lower their body temperature, the zombies would not easily detect them. Therefore, they decided to dip sacks into dirty water and then drape them over their bodies to shield their body heat. This plan was truly effective as the whole group draped the wet sacks over themselves and pretended to walk around like zombies. No zombies recognized them. But when passing one spot, GD suddenly saw his superior had also turned into a zombie, making him startled and cry out. That cry made all the surrounding zombies discover and rush to chase them. GD hurriedly grabbed a nearby water pipe intending to spray water at the zombies, but in the storage tank there was not a single drop of water left. Finally, the whole group had to try to climb onto a building thanks to a tank truck, but because too many people were standing on it, the roof where they were standing began to collapse. They found a way to crawl through the window of a nearby room, but inside there were zombies. Afterward, they looked toward another room and discovered a survivor inside. This person pulled the whole group into the room. His name is Jia. Actually, Jia was also someone who came to attend the wedding, but somehow he survived. When he learned that GD had come here from the next village despite the danger to his life just to save the girl he loves, Coco, Jia was extremely moved and happy. He agreed to help the group reach Coco's room. Afterward, Jia placed a ladder connecting to the building in front where Coco's room was and said that they only had the option to go across that way. The whole group had no other path, so each person one by one had to struggle very hard to crawl across the ladder to the other side. When it was Dama's turn, he was extremely terrified. Even so, he still tried to crawl forward. But just as he was about to arrive, the ladder collapsed. Dama panicked. Thinking his life ended here, he told everyone to leave him behind and just go save Coco. But the other three, none of them accepted abandoning him. While thinking he could not survive, Dama even confessed to Anshul that he liked her. While he was still crying in despair, Jia on the other side used a rope to pull the ladder back up. Thanks to that, Dama had a chance to hold on and with great effort managed to crawl to the other side safely. Everyone thanked Jia, but he decided to stay at his place. Afterward, the whole group entered Coco's room. Just as they entered, they saw a zombie girl struggling near a photo of Coco. GT thought Coco had also turned into a zombie, so he hugged Anshul and sobbed. But Coco was actually still alive. When seeing the scene of GT hugging someone else crying because he thought she was dead, she immediately became angry. GT was both happy and ran to explain to her. He said that he had disregarded his life, just like the male leads in Korean movies risking themselves to save the female lead just to come here to save her. Hearing those words, Coco was extremely moved and forgave him. Afterward, as the whole group prepared to leave, Coco looked toward her aunt, who had turned into a zombie, then pointed at GT and said that she would marry this very person, and the aunt could do whatever she wanted. But when GT looked out the back door to find an escape route, he was immediately terrified because Sosa and his entire group had also turned into zombies and had reached this place. While the whole group tried to escape, everyone got separated. Dama and Anshul ran onto the rooftop. GT and Coco also went up to that same rooftop from another side. At this point, they were surrounded by zombies from all sides. Despite trying their best to resist, the zombie swarm kept advancing. At one point, the whole group understood they could not stop them anymore. They almost gave up and accepted death. Just as the zombies were about to rush in to attack, suddenly someone turned on very loud music using a speaker. Hearing the music, the entire zombie swarm was attracted and pulled toward the sound. Only now do we know that the person who turned on the music was none other than Gurubak. Dama and Anshul saw that and were extremely happy. But on the rooftop, while GT and Coco were still there, Sosa in zombie form appeared again. The strange thing was that Sosa was not like normal zombies who only know how to bite randomly. He still had the ability to think, and he acted like a human, knowing to aim at GT to attack. Coco tried her best to stop him. Afterward, GT and Coco combined their strength to hold Sosa tightly and then with great difficulty managed to push him to fall below. Then they went down to check to make sure that he was dead. Next, they placed Sosa's body on a nearby bicycle and pushed it toward the place where there were many zombies. After that, they threw a gas cylinder into the area with zombies and created a large explosion, destroying many of them. After escaping, the whole group drove away. On the road, Anshul began to think about why Sosa, after being infected, could still think like a human. Gradually, she understood that perhaps Sosa's body had a stronger immune system than normal people, so the virus could not spread completely in his body. Because of that, he became a form of half-zombie, half-human. Immediately after, the film shows that actually Sosa is not dead yet. He is still alive. At this time, on Coco's hand, a bite mark appears. It turns out when she and GD fought Sosa, he bit her. Because Sosa is a form of half-zombie, half-human, whether Coco will turn into a zombie or not remains an open question. Today's story ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.